You've arrived at the Candlelit Archive, a place that does not appear on maps and does not exist during the day. Only when the world grows quiet and the thoughts in your mind begin to slow does it open for you. Tonight, you have been granted access to one of its quietest rooms, a story that was never meant to be rushed. So you do not need to stay awake for it. In fact, you are not expected to. Just listen as long as you can and let the rest fade on its own. There are places in the world. There are places the world can point to on a map. Cities with names, roads with signs, houses with numbers painted beside the door. And then there are places no maps keep. Places that do not stay still long enough to be drawn. Places visited only in passing moments between waking and sleep. Between one thought and the next. Between hearing something familiar and remembering what it was. Tonight's story is about one of those places. A forgotten place you almost remember. Not a place someone told you about. Not a place you read of in a book. A place that has waited quietly inside you for longer than you know. So let the room grow soft around you. Let the edges of the day blur gently. And listen You may have been here before. It begins the way many hidden things begin, by not being there. There is only an ordinary road at first. A road you might have taken 100 times. A lane between hedges. A path through trees. A quiet street after rain. Nothing remarkable. Nothing calling for attention. Then you look away for a moment, perhaps toward a passing cloud, perhaps toward a memory, perhaps nowhere at all. And when your eyes return, something has changed. Not dramatically, only enough to make certainty step back. The road seems longer than before. The light has altered. The air carries the scent of old paper, summer grass, and distant wood smoke. There is another turning now. Another path that could not have been there moments ago. No sign marks it. No gate guards it. Yet it holds the strange dignity of something that has always existed. You know, without knowing how, that if you continue past it, the day will remain ordinary. But if you follow it, something waiting in the quiet path does not insist. It simply remains. And after a moment, you step toward it. The path bends gently. Grass brushes your ankles. The sounds of the familiar world grow thin behind you. Soon you arrive at a gate, standing alone. There is no fence attached to it. No wall. No boundary on either side. Only a weathered iron gate between two stone posts wrapped in ivory. The latch is warm beneath your hand. It lifts without effort. The hinge makes no sound. Beyond the gate lies a lane lined with trees whose leaves move, though no wind can be felt. They are not trees you can name. Some bear lantern-shaped blossoms. Some carry silver bark. Some seem older than seasons. The lane stretches ahead, dappled with shifting light. As you pass through the gate, a sensation rises so quickly it almost startles you. Recognition. Not of details, not of memory clear enough to hold. something deeper. The feeling of returning to a room you once loved in childhood, though you cannot picture its walls. The feeling of hearing the first note of a forgotten song. The feeling of reaching for a name that stands just beyond language. You pause. The gate closes softly behind you, not to trap you, only to let the silence settle. The lane opens into a village square. It is small and beautifully kept. Windows shine. Flower boxes bloom with colors twilight has not invented yet. A fountain stands at the center, though no water falls from it. Instead, it reflects skies from different seasons. In one corner of the basin, autumn clouds. In another, midsummer blue. In another, first snow. The buildings around the square seem familiar in impossible ways. There is a bakery whose warm scent reminds you of mornings you cannot place. A bookshelf whose front window displays titles you almost know. A tailor's door with a bell whose sound you have heard in dreams. No one walks the streets. No voices carry from the windows, and yet nothing feels abandoned. The place is not empty. It is waiting. A bench beneath a pear tree seems to remember you. A lamp beside the fountain glows as if lit for your arrival. Curtains stir, though no one stands behind them. You wander slowly. On the wall of the bookshop hangs a chalkboard. Written there in careful script are the words, "Take only what returns with you." Inside the bakery window rests a single loaf cooling on a rack. Its scent brings tears to your eyes for reasons you cannot explain. Near the fountain, the air shifts. Not with wind, but with the presence of a memory trying to surface. You turn quickly. No one is there. But for one brief instant, the square feels full of everyone you have ever missed. Then the feeling passes like sunlight through leaves. At the far end of the square stands a small house, painted the color of dusk. Its front steps are worn in the middle. Its windows glow softly. A key hangs already in the door. You know before touching it that this is the house that belongs to no one else. Or perhaps belongs to whoever arrives needing it. Inside, the rooms are arranged with impossible familiarity. A coat hook where your hand expects one. A chair shaped to your resting posture. Shelves holding objects that feel meaningful, though you do not know why. A shell with rain trapped inside. A compass that points toward comfort. A clock whose hands move only when you smile. A stack of letters addressed simply to when you are ready. There is no dust. No sign of recent life. Yet the kettle in the kitchen is warm. Upstairs, a bedroom waits with curtains half drawn against evening. On the bedside table lies a photograph turned face down. You lift it carefully. The image has faded almost to nothing. Only shapes remain. A garden gate. A summer sky. A hand raised in greeting. You search your memory. Nothing arrives. And still, the ache of knowing presses gently at your ribs. This place is not from your past exactly. It is made of all the homes you needed and almost found. every kindness that nearly happened, every safe room imagined during difficult nights, every version of belonging that waited just outside reach. You set the photograph down. Some truths do not need names. Beyond the kitchen, where no hallway should fit, there is a corridor lit by small lamps. You follow it. On either side are doors standing slightly open. Inside the first room, every laugh you thought had vanished. They drift like bright ribbons through the air, warm and light, impossible to catch. Inside the second, lost afternoons, summer windows, rain on rooftops, the exact comfort of blankets once known and long outgrown. Inside the third, words you needed to hear but never did. They rest on shelves in folded paper bundles. You open one. It says, "You were never alone as you feared." You open another. It was enough that you tried. And another. Rest was allowed all along. You close the door with careful hands. Farther down the corridor is a room with no walls at all. Only moonlight. the center stands a single lantern. When you lift it, scenes appear briefly in the air around you. A road not taken that still led somewhere beautiful. A friendship that changed you quietly. A version of yourself who survived more than anyone noticed. Then the images fade. The lantern grows still. Some things are shown only once. As twilight deepens, a bell rings somewhere in the village. Low, gentle, neither warning nor command. A call to gather. Lights appear in every window. The fountain brightens with stars from unknown skies. The empty square fills, not with people exactly, but with presence. The feeling of company without demand. The warmth of being among others without needing to speak. You stand beneath the pear tree. Around you moves the quiet shape of welcome. No one asks who you became. No one asks what you regret. No one asks for proof that you belong here. The bell rings again, and from every doorway comes the same invitation, carried not by voices, but by understanding. Stay as long as you need. temptation is deep and immediate. To remain where nothing must be explained. Where every unfinished part of you is already understood. Where loneliness cannot remember the road in. But another feeling rises beneath it, gentle as dawn. The knowledge that hidden places are not meant to keep you, only restore you. The gate will open when you are ready. The path will return you changed in small, necessary ways. The path will return you changed in small, necessary ways. And this place, this almost remembered place, will even remain when forgotten again. You leave as evening becomes starlight. The lane is softer now. The trees bow slightly as you pass. At the gate with no fence, you turn back. The village glows in the distance. Windows warm. Fountain bright. 1,000 quiet things continuing without witness. Then you step through. The ordinary road waits on the other side. Night air. Familiar sounds. The world exactly where you left it. And yet, not exactly. Because something has come back with you. Not a map. Not an answer. Only a steadier breath. A softened heart. The strange comfort of knowing there are places within you no sorrow has ever reached. perhaps tomorrow, perhaps years from now, you may try to remember where the path began. You may fail. That is all right. Forgotten places survive by being felt more than found. And if someday an ordinary road seems briefly longer than before, if the air smells of old paper and wood smoke, if a turning appears where none had been, you will know. Somewhere nearby, a place you almost remember is waiting patiently to welcome you home. And now the Candlelit Archive grows quiet again. The books return to stillness. The lanterns continue their gentle watch, and the story is put safely away until it is needed once more. You do not need to finish this moment awake. You do not need to hold on to anything from it. Only